Happy Merry Monday. You tuned in to Real Talk with Mary J, and we're live on NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. I am your host, Mary J. Thank you to all of my listening audience that are sharing with us all around the globe. I hope you're having a happy Merry Monday today. I am live in the studio right in the great and old New Orleans. It's where the music happens. It's where the food happens. It's where everything happens. And we are in the studio on this Merry Monday. We're talking about mind and music, and I have the pleasure of bringing in the lovely Vegas Cola sharing with us in the studio on today, y'all. Good morning, Vegas.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, everybody.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing wonderful.
Awesome. I am so glad that you are here today in the studio, and I am really delighted to have you on today. You have been a blessing, Vegas, and Vegas always, that's my girl, show up right on time. It's just a phone call away and she comes running. And when you are available, God continues to open even greater doors for you. So Vegas, thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
So we're talking about mind and matter, but before we get into our conversation on today, let's tell the people who you are and what you do.
I am Vegas Cola.
Yeah.
And I am currently a musician here in New Orleans, a singer, and a mother, and I don't know, a million other things. But mostly a singer and a mother right
now. A singer and a mother and anointed vessel. And you write your own music, right? Don't some of the songs you do write yourself?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Vegas, we're talking about mind and music. I just came out of some deep episodes over the holidays, 'tis the season, talking about depression, oppression, stress, anxiety, all of that. And of course, I wanted to focus in on the mind particularly because I know that has been on my heart as it relates to the mind, the battlefield of the mind, and the things that people go through in life. That is coupled with all of the pressures of life. So, you guys, we have Vegas Cola on the show today because we're going to talk about mind and music, and I know there's a great blend of just having a songwriter, psalmist, myself, my daughter, and growing up, Vegas, in a family of musicians. My dad plays the trumpet. Y'all hear me tell that story all the time. My grandfather played the guitar, and my grandmother was a piano instructor. She played the piano. So just growing up in that type of environment and dealing with music, and we're going to go a little deeper at the end, but let's talk about the mind and what happens when we journey through music, because I am sure that there are some things that you've experienced in life, and I want to say you because I'm not a singer. I can't sing. But some of the things that we journey in life, particularly musicians, because I'm most fascinated about the music, and when I hear some of the songs, some of the lyrics that are being written and penciled on the heart of men and women that are artists, what they were going through at that time. So we want to talk about the mind, the thought process, and, what does music actually do to the mind?
Okay.
What does it do to the mind?
Well, for me, it keeps me focused. So I've been connected to music since I was a little girl. I do not come from a family of musicians. I was not surrounded by it. I was just drawn to it.
Yeah.
And through all of my life changes, that's always been my consistent part of me. And I mean part of me as in from 5 till now. I was always journeying. I lived across the street from the church I went to, and sitting and listening to the choir, watching the dancers dance to music. And that just always kept me focused and centered. So that's basically my ADD medicine.
And that's exactly what I'm saying, because I always say, let's say even if a person went into a music venue, even if they went into a bar, I'm gonna go to that extreme, and they're sitting there and they're dealing with all of the issues of life. They're dealing with maybe finances, maybe family, whatever the hardship may be, in and out of love, and they're going to the bar to actually have a drink, to just unwind and kind of escape a little space and actually have a drink. But there's music that is playing.
It sets the mood.
Exactly. It takes you to a place, because why I'm so fascinated about this subject, mind and music, because I know music takes me to a place, and music and the melody, the rhythm and the sound of it and what it does, all the way back to our roots. There was a beat. There was a beat of the drum. There was a rhythm at the river. There was something that our ancestors would tap into, that rhythm and that sound, that would take us to another place outside of ourselves, outside of our culminations of all what's going on around us. So I've always been fascinated with music. From a little kid, you'll see little kids buckling their knees and bouncing to the beat. Don't even know the alphabets yet, But the music takes them to a place. So when we're talking about mind and music, I heard you say, as a little kid growing up from the church and seeing the choir members and all of that, and listening to the sound of that. What was your thought process back then? How did you start singing? Because you can sing, girl. Some people can sing and you can sing. How did you start that journey in wanting to sing? Because I know that you have different ranges that you do.
So it started with basically just music surrounding me. Like, my mom played records back then. I'll tell my age, but yeah, she had a record player, and listening to that, and then also I remember hearing Black Butterfly. You remember that song?
Black Butterfly. Yeah. Girl, see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
And just being so like, man,
I love Black Butterfly.
Okay, so if I could be frank, I'm from the hood.
Yeah.
Okay? Everybody talk about Treme. They got all these shows and Sixth Ward, and no, I am literally like the heart of Treme.
Okay.
And I grew up across the street from, I can't think of the name of the school, St. Peter Claver.
Okay.
That's the school I went to.
Okay.
And I remember they having
that's heart of Treme, for real.
Yeah. I remember having walking in while there were praise dancers dancing to Black Butterfly, and that's like
really
that's the farthest back I can remember as far as music goes, and just being in like. Just,
how old were you about?
I had to be about 6 or 7.
Wow.
I may have been in first grade, if I remember correctly. And I just, man, this is, I don't know. I just remember being taken away. I was in the hood. I had just, my dad was a lot. And
just a lot.
He was a lot.
I understand.
So it was just, I just remember escaping into that. And then my mom used to play these old records. Do you remember Denise Williams?
Yes.
Not Denise Williams. Sorry, wrong one.
Stephanie Mills.
Not Stephanie Mills. I'm gonna get back to it. I remember her playing these records, and just me escaping into it with my mom's cleaning, being very, very little, and then life was crazy. We had to up and move to Houston.
Wow.
Right, and I remember being in a room with a tape player, and I had a Whitney Houston tape, played it over and over and over, and by that time I had lost my dad. So I had, there was a Whitney Houston song, All the Man That I Need. And that was my healing. I lost my dad.
That's what I'm talking
but
about.
But I found him spiritually.
That's what I'm talking about. Mind and music. That's what I'm talking about.
And that's just where I went. And it was just like, no matter where I went, I was in Houston, I moved here, I moved there. But I always found a choir, another girl who'd like to sing. All of my friends are singers. So that connection is like other people bring you back to what keeps you sane.
Yeah, and see, just for you, that just endorsed what I'm saying. You had no musical background, so you're gifted. That's a gift that God actually put in you. I don't know. Have you done professional training or anything?
So, in my, I don't know. I decided to go to school for music. I was in high school, and the teacher went to UNO. And he was like, Vegas, you should consider taking up music in college. So I went there, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to just get in the choir. And then a year and a half into it, I fully enrolled in music education because I wanted to teach people just like I was learning.
Yeah, yeah. See, that's a beautiful story. The mind and music, the rhythm and the sound, just going through. And because I'm telling you personally, I experienced it. I can't sing, but you know, personally, I experienced it, and I think because of the love that I have for the music itself, the sound and the rhythm, and just understanding that you journeyed from growing up in Treme in the hood, going to Houston, kind of have to relocate and kind of recondition and regroup and all of that, and then losing your dad in the midst of it all, and then having a song like Whitney Houston.
It's all the man that I ever need. He's all I've got.
Yeah, he's all I've got in this world. Yes.
He's all the man. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so
my
that
mind envisioned like, okay, well, I don't have him, but
Oh, wow.
he's gonna be my, you know, spiritually, he's there with me. And I had to be 10, I think,
really.
when I lost my dad. 10, between 10 and 11, and that song, I think I might have been about 12 when I remember hearing it, and just like
It brought you
learning
back.
every note and everything, and falling asleep to it, and waking up to it, and dreaming to it. Oh my God, I memorized every note, run, rhythm Whitney Houston did on that.
So when did you know you can sing? Actually, did you were always singing as a little kid?
I didn't have anybody say, "Hey, you can sing, girl." I just remember thinking, I just love it. I was like, I was drawn to wherever I could get close to it.
Yeah.
And around the same time, I remember going to Houston. I was at a Catholic school, and I wanted to play an instrument. So they're like, "Hey, you can play this trombone." But I used to ride my bike to school.
Wait, did you try to play the trombone?
I did try to play the trombone, and then I couldn't. I lived maybe about a mile from my school, and I used to have to ride my bike, and I couldn't carry this trombone. So that's when I was just like, well, what else is there to do? Because I can't carry this trombone back and forth on my bike. And then so there's like, well, you can join the choir, and also they have dance teams or something. I think I joined a dance team because I was trying to keep busy. It's crazy how kids just find a way to occupy themselves, and that's what I did. I wasn't, you know.
So you were doing everything that was offered, but you didn't sing. You didn't get in the choir?
I didn't get into the choir. I just kept, I don't know. I just was learning music. That was my pastime. When at night at home, I put on the tape cassette, and I just learned some music. And I think when I exposed myself to other people, that's when I was held accountable for it. I did a talent show at about 13 or 14, and my mom was like, "Oh, you can sing?" And the car was like, "Oh, you can sing? Oh, you can sing? You can sing? You should do this." And then we had a singing group, and then so after that, it was just like everywhere I went, because I moved around quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, where's the choir?"
Yeah, see that's awesome. I love the fact that you had that song replayed in you that brought you to a place that what you said, you called it your healing. And that's why I say to so many people, of course we already know that, music plays a very important, pertinent part of our lives. It goes down into our soul, and when it takes root in our spirit, you begin to envision all of these different things. That's why it's so important what to listen to. I love all types of music. I don't discriminate any. I love rap. I love gospel. I love jazz. I love a little bit of country, every now and then. But I don't, because it's the message in the music. Now, of course, I'm not going to listen to all of that profanity and all of that, degrading stuff.
I can imagine. Now, we're in a different time now.
Right.
I remember Ghetto Boys, around the same time, but that's not what my mama bought me.
Right, right.
Now we're in a place and time where you're exposed to any and everything, and you can get to any and everything.
Right.
It's hard to stop your kids, or it's hard to stop people from listening to it. So I'm pretty sure if I had access to something else other than Whitney Houston, who was a gospel singer at one point, if I didn't have access to Denise Williams or these different singers. Or
Right.
Mariah Carey came out a little bit.
I love
around that
Mariah
time.
Carey too.
So if I didn't have that to listen to, I'm probably sure I would have
Yeah.
geared to rap.
Yeah, but and see, and I think it's all a part of because I can hear rap and I can hear the profanity, and when I hear it and I hear the message behind it, I can understand the place where they are and where they're coming from because what's in you gonna come out of you. You understand? So I can understand where they're coming from and the message that they have behind the music and what they're relating to, and other people that are in that same place are relating to the same thing. But I'm saying as it relates to me and what I want coming in my temple and hearing, you know, I can appreciate it, but I can learn to, okay, that's not something that I don't want my teenager listening to that. But of course, like, as you said, they want to escape it because they will hear it at school or whatever. Yeah, they'll be able to hear it. But listen, you guys, you tuned in to Real Talk with Mary J. I am in the studio with the lovely Vegas Cola on today, sharing with us. We're talking about mind in music on today. You know, get your mind right. You know what I'm saying? You know, tune into some good music and let it take root in you. We're going into our commercial break, but we don't want you to go anywhere. Stay right there. We'll be right back after this.
Women of God, it's time to win again. Mark your calendars and join Dr. Deborah B. Morton and the Women of Excellence Wednesday, April 18th through Friday, April 20th in New Orleans for Woe Conference 2018. Reboot, rebuild, and rebirth with world-renowned winners like Marvin Sapp, Cindy Trim, Bishop Paul Morton, and Dr. Jazz Skerlock. To register, learn more, and sign up to win again, visit www.woeconference.org.
Happy Merry Mondays. It's your girl, Mary J. I want you to tune in with me to Real Talk with Mary J on New Orleans Talk Network every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Then follow me to blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary J at 10 p.m. It's going to be a Merry Monday every Monday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. You've just tuned into New Orleans Talk Network.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on the Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
Happy Merry Monday. You tuned in to Real Talk with Mary J. We're back from our commercial break with the one and only, the lovely Vegas Cola on today. Thank you for coming in the studio. I hope you guys are having a happy Merry Monday. If you're not, you better start having a happy Merry Monday today, because it's not a blue Monday. It's a Merry Monday today on this morning. We're live in the studio from the great New Orleans, coming from NOTN, New Orleans Talk Network, and we're so glad that you came in the studio to share with us today. We're talking about mind and music. Now, right before commercial break, we were discussing mind and music, and Vegas took us on a journey as it relates to growing up in the hood and listening to the music and understanding that Whitney Houston brought you to a place. And I said that endorsed pretty much of what I say, because you know, before I was saying when we hear music, because I'm going to tell you who brings me to a place, Mary J. Blige. My girl brings me, you talking about healing, I receive healing. I'm going to tell you, I was dealing with depression. I had been through a very, very devastating divorce. I was going through so much on my job, and actually lost my job at the time, and just was trying to regroup and refine and re-identify who I am, writing a book. And I heard the song by Mary J. Blige, In Color. It's called Color. I've been trying to get my kid to sing that for years. Maybe you'll sing it for me. I don't know. But when I tell you some of the lyrics to her song, I can see in color the first time of spring, the roses are blooming, I have a new song to sing. Life has been so amazing, I never knew that it would. Open my eyes to see, and for the very first time, I can see in color. And it's very bluesy, it's very jazzy. And I brag about this song. I've talked about this song so much on my show. But that song set me free. That song removed some scales from my eyes. That song ministered to my soul, you know. So when we're talking about mind and music, it's what you think, it's what you envision, the places that it takes you to. So let's talk about some of those journeys as it relates to the things that I know that you've experienced. I know every musician, every artist experienced some things in life. When they sing, they sang. When they sang, they've gone through some stuff, especially when they write, you know.
I write a lot.
You see, so what are some of the turning points, or what are some of the places where you were in your life when you wrote what you wrote?
I can think of a song that I wrote. I remember I had gotten fired for the first time. And it was just like unnecessary. It was, they're like, you're making too much money. Are you stealing? I was like, no.
Really?
I think I was bartending during Essence, and, you know, it's a beautiful time in the city. I love Essence.
Yes.
And it's just, it's an affluent time for Black people, right? They come in and they make sure that they have their money, they have their outfits, their hair. It's just a beautiful time.
Yeah.
Like, I love Essence.
Yes.
I just get excited and wound up. I'm like, oh, look how cute she looks. Oh, I love that hair. I love
Right.
the skin.
Right.
So anyway, I'm going on a tangent. But I remember, and I lost my job right after that weekend. So it's like this really, really big high, and then this really big low. And I was like, and I just remember walking around being really, really sad. And I wrote a song that said it's okay to be sad because there's always tomorrow. And the song is like, today is just a gloomy day. Wish that I could go home and sleep it away. Holding back my tears from sadness. I recall days of idealism and happiness. Oh, fighting it like the demon that it is. I choose to lose and forget until tomorrow. 'Cause today is the day that I surrender to sorrow. See, okay.
Girl, keep going, because if you stay right there, I'm going to church in a minute, you know.
And I remember writing the song, and it came to me later. So a friend said, you know, I feel like that sometimes. It's okay to be sad as long as you know, you got to pick up and go back tomorrow. It's okay to be depressed. The thing about being sad and down is people feel like it's the end of the world.
Right.
When in actuality, it's a natural feeling. It's an emotion. Stay in it, realize where you are, and realize it's temporary. And then you could just, tomorrow's a whole nother day, and you can fix whatever problems you got.
Yeah.
And that's what that song for me is.
I love it. I love it. It's about being sad because you were in that space and you penciled it. You know, it's just like what we do. I'm a writer, and this is in journaling. When you go through some things in life, you know, you write it down, you pencil it, you journey through life, and that journal can turn into a book. So you've turned your sad song, you know, you made it into a song, your scenario into a song. So that's beautiful. But when you were saying Vegas, there's a whole lot of soul in you. There's a whole lot of gospel girl in you. I heard it, girl. You can't hide it. I heard it. There was a gospel girl coming out of that. So where does that all come from?
Okay. Y'all ready?
I'm ready. This
Let
is
me
real
introduce
talk.
myself.
This is real talk.
First Lady Vegas.
Yeah.
So, after Hurricane Katrina, I like to call it a PTSD moment in life. And I married a pastor within a year of losing everything, New Orleans,
Wow.
and being in Houston. And somebody was like, "Hey, you want to sing on this praise and worship team?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "No, I don't sing. I don't sing that." So I get there, and I'm singing background in this praise and worship team, and the pastor's got his eyes on me. I'm like, you know, a Rolex that he saving for. He made sure I was gonna be his. So very quickly, I'm First Lady Vegas. I go from singing background on the praise and worship team to being First Lady Vegas.
That man said he found a wife.
That was school, okay. that was 4 years, and I graduated.
Were you married for 4 years?
Yes.
Wow, really?
I was First Lady for 4 years, and being in and out, like musicians coming and going and stuff, I was the one who was consistent. So I'm like singing background and being really meek and quiet to being the person that, well, look, Vegas, you know how to sing, so you might as well do praise and worship. And then for me, I'm never just a person who's gonna take something and take it lightly. Okay, you want me to do praise and worship? I studied, I read, I prayed, I remember fasting, no food except for I think maybe a half a piece of toast for a week, trying to connect myself spiritually, because if this was a role I was going to play, it wasn't going to be a role. I was going to know it.
Right,
And so
right.
that's where I come. That's where
That I hear that gospel in you. I hear it coming out of you, you know, and I'm going to tell you, Vegas, when you came for my conference, and because I had another artist that was dealing with something going on in her family, lost her mom, bless her heart, and I called you and you came in, and I'm telling you, now Vegas sings on Frenchman Street, right? Sang on Bourbon Street, right? And you came to Women of Treasure Conference, and the anointing fell in that place. Oh my goodness, they kept talking about who was she, and I was like, we gotta get her back next year. But I know the root of that, the heart of that, the gospel, the soul in you, that it just flows. You can't escape it. You can't escape it. You just can't, you know.
There's a pastor that I sing at his church every now and again. He told me yesterday. He was like, I said, I don't know. I just feel like I'm a better singer than I am a minister. He said, well, I think it's the other way around. I think you're a better minister than you are a singer. And for me, that's how I minister to myself. The music. Like,
Yeah.
you know, at home. So when I got away from singing in the church, when I got away from that situation, I took away with it the ability to encourage myself, the ability to be at home and praise and get myself back to wherever I need to be emotionally, because we're still talking about the mind.
Right.
So that was the one thing that I got from it, and I'm still able to do it. When nobody else is around, I'm still able to spiritually connect to the God in me and go forward.
Yeah. So I hear you say when you got away from it. Why did you get away from it? What brought you away?
I don't want to tear anybody down, but I had no idea that ministry could be so complicated. It was a lot. And I think for me, I didn't think I was a little girl. But in that situation, I was very much a little girl because I had no idea. Church, if you aren't spiritually mature and developed to be in a ministry, not only be in a ministry,
To lead
a ministry,
right.
you're going to be
Awakened.
Yes, you're going to be taught a lot of lessons that are strong, hard life lessons.
Right.
And I learned them in that time.
Right.
So getting away from it, meaning I found what I needed in it. I got my strength, my spiritual strength, and I got out of it, and that's how I feel.
I understand that too, because when we go to ministry, whether you're a singer, whether you're a preacher, it doesn't matter. When you think that you're going to that place where healing takes place, where restoration is, where hope is, where love is, and then you deal with people. See, we have to understand We have to understand that there's people there, Vegas. There are people there that are like you and I, and there are people that are not like you and I, but they're all together. And so I think that our perception of ministry, we think it's a perfect place with perfect people. And then when we get there up close and personal, we realize that those same people are there too, from where we came from and where we're trying to get away from. They're there too. So ministry does teach you a very valuable lesson. It's a hard knock because I'm going to tell you one thing about it. I know we're talking about mind and matter, and I'm so glad that you went there, because the hard knocks of that is that, oh, you stop it. When we are fighting, in ministry, we have to understand that when we're on the battlefield, the front line, we're all of our adversities are against us. I'm on the front line. I'm fighting the enemy. Your gun should not be pointed here. It should be out there, okay? So I can't be in a camp and gotta fight who I'm in a camp with. We're supposed to be in the same troop, you know. I can't fight you and fight the enemy too. But if we fighting the enemy, then we all win. But I understand. But I think the journey of it all too, because I always talk about lessons learned, processes, rejection, going through ministry, dealing with people that you know that you've been good to, that you tried to pour in and help. But it's all a trick of the enemy to pull us away from the ministry, and it's also all a part of you being who you are, because going through life, dealing with people, dealing with ministry, dealing with pains of past have created you to be the person that you are. That's why you can sing the way you sing. That's why you can write the way you write. That's why you can love the way you love, and see that smile and keep on smiling anyway. But it's a lesson, you know. It's a lesson, and we just have to move forward. So
I wouldn't trade it. I definitely am not angry. I wouldn't trade it at all.
Right.
Because to be spiritually immature is, man, that's not a good place to be. To not know what you have inside of you.
yeah, kind of, yeah.
So when I look back and I think about who I was before and who I am now, and people say, wow, you're strong. Wow, you're resilient. How do you forgive? How do you love again?
Right.
How do you? And I'm like, it's the God in me. I got it. Once you get it, you can't take it from me.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Once you have it, it's yours to keep. It's yours to keep, definitely. That's why I always tell people you can't change who Mary J is, because Mary J gonna be who she is, no matter how you treat me, no matter how ugly you may be. I can't be somebody else. I don't know how to love any other way but to love right. And I believe that, you know, when we have Jesus Christ as our example of what love is, we understand what love is supposed to be, so we don't accept anything else. And you learn not to do what's done. So, yeah, that's a good thing. Back to the rhythm and the soul, back to the sound. Going through that journey to understanding that you lost your sister, Daphne, and a girl did you sing at her funeral. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. Just, you know, dealing with that, Vegas, and I know you and Daphne are like white on rice, you know, the closeness that you two have. And then your beautiful baby girl, that gift that God gave you even after the loss of your sister. Where did that journey take you as it relates to mind and music? What was your thoughts of that? And were you able to even write more songs through that, or what place did it bring you to?
So the music, my sister, all of that stuff was so deeply intertwined, right? So part of me being able to deal with it was the fact that I was singing, right? I had to sing. I think when my sister got into the accident, that was when me and my Kia, we did a show. You put on a show at, it was like a Billie Holiday tribute.
Oh yeah, the Billie Holiday tribute.
In
That's
the midst
right.
of it. And
That's right, Vegas. Oh my gosh, yeah, because you weren't going to make it for the show, and you felt like you had to be there. Oh wow, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And I remember, like, fixing my flower in the bathroom, and then having a conversation with my sister who was in a coma at the time, and her saying,
I remember
"Girl,
that.
don't you miss no show? You know I love to hear you sing." So I just remember her spiritually lifting me, saying, "Go do it. This is what you love to do. Don't let me stop you. You know,
Right,
I would
right.
want you to do it." And I
Right.
was able to just, I was like, "All right, let's do this."
Yeah, yeah. I remember that you brought that because I remember we were thinking that you weren't going to make the show. And you showed up, and we were all surprised that you showed up. And I remember you saying, I had to do this for Daphne because this is what she would have wanted me to do. And I need to, wow, yeah, I remember that. Girl, you about to make me cry. You about to take me back. Gosh, yeah, that was beautiful. And you all had such a tremendous show. It was awesome.
I remember that was a beautiful.
It was standing room only, packed house, sold out. Yeah.
I love that event. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah. We're talking about mind and music with the lovely Vegas Cola. We're getting ready to go into commercial break. It's getting deeper. It's getting deeper. Don't you guys go anywhere. Stay right there. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Our listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255. The New Orleans Talk Network.
Happy Merry Mondays. It's your girl, Mary J. I want you to tune in with me to Real Talk with Mary J on New Orleans Talk Network every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Then follow me to blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary J at 10 p.m. It's going to be a Merry Monday every Monday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. You've just tuned into New Orleans Talk Network.
Hi, I'm Evangelist Melanie Pichon. Listen, I'd like to invite you to view our Forgiven Talk Show every Thursday from 11 a.m. Central Standard Time until 12 noon. We talk about issues. We talk about challenges. We talk about those things really that other folks don't want to talk about. Listen, if you want to talk about something, if you want to give us some suggested ideas, comment below and we'll do our best to get at you. Remember, every Thursday from 11 a.m. Central Standard Time until 12 noon, the Forgiven Talk Show.
Now New Orleans has a choice. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app for your mobile device or listen at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com.
Happy Merry Monday. We're back from our commercial break. I hope you didn't go anywhere. I hope you stayed right there. You can even dial into the studio at 5044-341-8255, 504-341-TALK. And you can talk. Come on in and gel with us on today. We're talking about mind and music with the lovely Vegas Cola on today. And we were just getting into a good, deep conversation, talking about mind and music, understanding that there is a rhythm and a sound. You know, I relate to that rhythm and sound just as I relate to ministry. I believe that there's an anointing and there's a flow in the spirit, and you have to tap into that flow. You know, when I move in ministry strategically, I tap into the flow. I can feel the anointing and feel that flow, and I walk in it. That's, you know, it's like basking in, like making a right move at the right time, and that's how I relate to rhythm and sound. There's a certain rhythm and sound where you just like, okay, hit it now, you know, go there now, take it, go to that range now, bring it down now. So it's a rhythm. I don't know, that's just me in my mind. That's how I work. A lot of times I relate things that are in the natural and I kind of process it spiritually and see where it fit. And it's a good thing. And but we're going to talk about overcoming doubt and casting out fear as it relates to music. And you just said a whole lot. I said you just almost had me teary-eyed talking about Daphne and you showing up for the Billie Holiday tribute that I put on with you, with my kid, and you being one of the singers in that show. Just dealing with casting out doubt, overcoming fear. How do you handle that? What are some of the situations that you really had to think about, like, okay, I got to process my thoughts. You know, this is where my mind has taken me. This is where I am right now. But I have to cast out all of that because I know I got to focus on this.
Okay, so we're dealing with music again. And from my experience as an entertainer, right, when it's time to sing, it's time to sing, right? It's really, there's no space for fear or doubt. You have it, but you have to kind of sip it like some tea and swallow and move forward. Like it's really, and so that's everything I approach. I kind of do that. Like, okay, I'm afraid, but what is fear really? Is it something physical? No, it's really not. It's just something you can master. It's like emotions.
It's really imagination.
Yeah,
basically.
it's your emotions. And so for me, I'm always trying to say this to myself, like, master your emotions. So once you take out the emotional element of it and then you kind of connect to what's really going on, it's like fear becomes very small.
That's good.
So it's like,
that's good.
Yeah, you can, get past it really quickly. And for me, that's how I deal with it. People are like, you don't have stage fright? And I tell you, I sing for hours and hours. I do a lot of like club gigs or restaurants where it's like 2, 3 hours, 4 hours. I've even done so much as to 6 hours when I was on Bourbon Street. Never again. That's our guy. So, and when I'm feeling doubtful, fearful, I just kind of sing through it. And I come out of it. It's like I don't know how to explain it. I wish I could make you understand.
I do understand it because I understand music and I know what music does for me. Like I said, and that's why it's, music is to me, for me, it's it resonates through my soul. That's why I can tap into any space. If I'm in worship, I can feel that and flow and bask under the anointing in the presence of God. If I'm listening to jazz, it's smooth. It keeps you kind of like laid back in a sense, and you just kind of vibe through it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, understand what I'm saying?
Lately, I've been so I finally got back into the gym. My baby's off my back. And I'm getting back to the gym. And so I have this playlist. It's got Drake. It's got 2 Chainz. It's got, because it's that
that workout music. Yeah.
And I'll be on the treadmill like 2 Chainz, and then like 20 minutes has gone by,
Right.
So you need that type of music.
Right.
I mean, I love worship. It just doesn't always work when I'm trying to work out.
Yeah, well, it depends on what workout you're doing, and, because I was saying I work out usually pretty much my workout. I'm in silence. I'm one of those kind of peculiar people. When I'm driving in my car, I'm in silence for the most part. My workout involves meditation mostly for me. When I'm working out, I'm hearing God. I'm feeling God. I'm envisioning my next move, what direction I'm going to take. Now, there have been times when I do work out, I'll work out to not gospel, not regular gospel music or anything, workout music or secular music, and going back when you say worship doesn't do it for you, then I was working out to Mary J. Blige, I'm gonna tell you, and I was hitting it. I was doing the squats and I was hitting it, and girl, when Color came on my playlist, I couldn't move. I think I was doing crunches. When Color came on, I just laid down. I laid down for the whole song, and I was like, sing it, Mary, you know.
I have to listen to this
Yeah.
song. Now I'm going to my car, like, gotta listen to
Oh,
this
you
song.
got to. You have to. And the reason why I'm talking about mind and music, because I have to get the people to understand that there's so many different types of music, and music can meet you right where you are. Now, music can take you to a very low place. If you want it to take you to a low place, it depends on the mind. You know, it can bring you out. Now, I'm going to tell you one song that Mary J. Blige sings that I just don't want her singing. I don't want her singing. I love her. I don't want her singing I'm Catching Hell. She sings it at every concert, and people
does.
love it. They love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, no, you're not, Mary. No, you're not. You know, because he ain't around. No, you're not, baby. You're not going down. You're going
I'm
up.
going
You
down
know
that
what?
I'm going down.
Yeah. That one. I'm going down because he's not around.
Oh, yeah.
No, you're not
I
going
don't know
down.
about that either.
But I understand. I love her and I love everything she sings. But that song, when she sings it, I'm like this. I'm just silent. You know, it's like I have my stalk face on. You know, I'm like,
The thing is, we were saying that though, sometimes.
because it can bring you down to keep
Okay.
singing that.
That's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like people need to realize down is okay, but it's temporary.
Right.
So not that song, but I remember this. They got an Alicia Keys song called "Ever Try Sleeping with a Broken Heart? Well, you should try sleeping in my bed." I remember.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
I remember that song.
Yeah.
I remember going listening to it over and over one night, and waking up the
Music
next
will make
morning
you
feeling
move.
refreshed.
Right.
Like,
Right.
okay, I did it. I cried. I'm over it.
Right. I remember that song with Alicia Keys too. Yeah. And it just, you know, sometimes you can sing a song and you can revisit that place and that time, you know, because it's all, you know, it's attached to this rhythm and this sound that emanates through your soul. It's embedded in your soul. So when you listen to a certain song that reminds you of a certain person or a certain place where you were in your life, it will bring you back. Now, my thing is that if I'm going to go revisit that, while I'm there, I'm pulling out everything I need to pull out. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking back everything that I need to take back, and I'm stripping myself of everything. Everybody's not as deep as me. I know. I get pretty deep. I get pretty deep in things, but when I go back to that space through that song, I understand what it did, how it made me feel, and I have to make up in my mind, do you want to stay there or you want to come out? So go back and grab what you need to grab, or if you can't deal with it right now, turn the channel, you know, change the song, you know, move from that. Because, yeah, when I'm going through some heartaches and heartbreaks, you know, in life, yeah, I'm not going to stay there and dwell in the same state. I want to bounce back, and I want to bounce back real strong.
I think that's kind of what you're talking about here today, like being able to master your mind. And
Right.
even when songs, they talk about alcohol as spirits or certain things are spirits, right? Music is a spirit.
That's right.
And so sometimes
That's
a
right.
song can put you in a place,
Yes.
but your mind is much greater than the music. So you're controlling it and you're connecting to it, but you're also, what you're saying, you're taking out from what you need from
Right.
because you have the ability to overcome it
That's
in
right.
your mind.
That's right. That's right. Music is definitely a spirit. It would take you mind over matter. You know, you have to know what you're dealing with, pull from it. And if it's not something that you want to deal with, don't visit it, especially if you're not strong enough to visit it, you know. Because when my girl Mary J. Blige came back and she said, no more drama. Whoo, now let me work out on that. Let me work out on that. I'll bet you I'll do some laps on that one, some crunches and squats on that one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But Vegas, thank you so much, Mind and Music, for coming on the show today. Girl, you brought it in for us today, you know, as you always do with your bad self, you know. And I started to come and check you out. Were you singing last night? I was going to come down there and check you out.
Oh, yeah, because I'm down the street from IKEA.
Yeah, I was there last night, and I hadn't been out for a very long time because I got so much that I'm trying to do, and I try not to be out too late for my show. But I was there last night, and I was going to come walk down the street to kind of come hear you and feel you, because I know we were doing this show together, and I like to go out whenever I'm doing a show. I like to feel where I'm going, you know. So yeah, so good. So let the people know where you are. And what places that you're singing at? You're at Cafe Negril on Sunday?
Yes, Cafe Negril, Sunday night, 10 p.m. I'm there every Sunday. The Lord said the same.
10 to what?
10 to 2.
10 to 2.
Yeah, we take a little break. We do 2 sets, so we're there quite a while if you can make it to there. And also, if you're hungry and you want to see some art and you want to see some cool people and some wonderful bartenders, I sing at the Marini Brasserie. Okay. It's a restaurant. It's on the corner of Frenchman, 640 Frenchman. I'm there every Friday night. It's a different vibe from Cafe Negril. So if you're looking a little bit more relaxed and
I might check that out. Tell them again where's that place?
The Marini Brasserie at 9 p.m. on Friday nights.
Okay, 9 p.m. Marini
Brasserie.
9 p.m. Friday nights. Friday nights, 9 p.m. All right, guys, you tuned in to Real Talk with Mary J, coming to you all the way from New Orleans, heart and soul, where the music, where the food is. You know, everything happens right here in New Orleans. It's our culture, the art and the heart of music. And you just heard and tuned in to the lovely Vegas Cola on today. We're talking about mind and music. So follow her. Go to social media and follow Vegas Cola. You can pick her up right there. Have you had a happy, merry Monday, Vegas? I did too. Thank you for coming on with me on today.